Iran specialists of greater or lesser degrees of hawkishness are present throughout Washington, D.C.'s think tanks, such as the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, the Brookings Institute, and the Council on Foreign Relations. But none of them have made an institutional specialty of recommending hardline Iran policies, such as economic terrorism called sanctions, and offering detailed proposals as how to implement them the way the Foundation for Defense of Democracies has done. For a closer look on this issue, please stay with us on this edition of Iran Today. Since its founding in 2001, the FDD has carved out a niche for itself as a harbor for Washington, D.C.'s Iran hawks, with CEO Mark Dubowitz as its well-connected leader. The institution's media stardom, along with Dubowitz's own forceful Twitter feed, has built in an outsized reputation outside the U.S. to match its importance in Washington. According to its website, FDD was founded to promote pluralism, defend democratic values, and fight the ideologies that drive terrorism.
The Foundation for Defense of Democracies has a beautiful name. Everyone who hears the name might say, wow, what a wonderful foundation. But what democracy it defends? And with what intentions?
In a January 2023 article, the FDD presented a comprehensive plan for American policymakers and allies to overthrow the Islamic Republic of Iran. An extremely detailed, comprehensive strategy that called for the use of multiple instruments of overt and covert American power. The plan included economic warfare, support for anti-Iran proxy forces and dissidents, and an all-out offensive against the Islamic Republic's ideological legitimacy. According to independent journalists, FDD's chief, Mark Dubowitz, has been a harsh critic of the Iranian nuclear deal, formerly known as JCPOA, from the very start. Subsequently, FDD has gotten involved in the execution of a multi-layer war campaign against the Islamic Republic, composed of a wide range of actions, including but not limited to organizing the war of narratives and extensive psychological operations against the leader of the Islamic Republic and the institutions attributed to him. Presenting misleading information and statistics on several media outlets, including the C-SPAN network and the U.S. Congress. Supporting the approval of the comprehensive law to sanction Lebanon's Hezbollah. Organizing anti-Iran terror groups and activities. Supporting the establishment of intelligence and missile bases in the periphery of Iran. Supporting covert operations against nuclear facilities and assassination of Iranian nuclear scientists. Projecting suspicion about Islamic law and order, such as retribution and hijab. Holding joint meetings with AIPAC centered on Iran, encouraging European lawmakers to sanction the Islamic Revolution Guard Corps, exaggerating and presenting deceptive news about the goals and nature of Iran's peaceful nuclear activities, disillusioning the young generation of Iranians about their lives in Iran and opportunities abroad, manipulating the public trust in the government institutions, and consulting with Hollywood filmmakers to make movies with the themes of Iranophobia and Islamophobia. As some of the statements Dubowitz has made over the years on Iran clearly demonstrate, his goal in Iran is regime change. After Obama took office, FDD, led by Dubowitz, proposed imposing further sanctions on Iran to force it to abandon its nuclear program. But Dubowitz himself was skeptical about whether sanctions would actually lead to a diplomatic solution. Reportedly, Dubowitz has been helping design and push forward sanctions on Iran since well before they became the centerpiece of Trump's policy toward Islamic Republic. He was closely involved in legislation for sanctions on Iran's central bank and oil sector in 2011, and in making it harder for Tehran to move money in 2012. He helped lead the charge against the emerging nuclear deal beginning in 2013, establishing the FDD as DC's ground zero for research and policy recommendations aimed at highlighting and fixing what Dubowitz saw as the flaws in the nuclear agreement.
The question is, what's their ultimate goal? They want to sow distrust among people towards the government. They want the public to have a distorted image of what is happening in society through spewing out fake news and misinformation. They blow shortages out of proportion and do whatever it takes to make the government lose its legitimacy, lose its public support. They want to undermine the government as a whole.
A 2015 profile in Slate magazine, for example, traced the think tank's rise, noting how its employees appeared before Congress and on cable news to discuss the Iran deal far more frequently than scholars affiliated with longer-established and better-funded think tanks. Meanwhile, the Iranian Foreign Ministry has added the Foundation for Defense of Democracies and its executive chief, Mark Dubowitz, to its list of sanctioned entities a few years ago, holding them responsible for the designing, imposing, and intensifying of economic terrorism against the Islamic Republic and the Iranian nation.